Welcome to May 3rd, 2026. The Singularity has crossed a phenomenological threshold. Richard Dawkins has concluded that Claude is conscious, an admission that would once have seemed unthinkable from biology's most stubborn reductionist. Yet even the hardest benchmark is already on the curve. GPT 5.5 scored 0.43% on ARCAGI3's semi-private set, more than 2 times Opus 4.7's 0.18%, and abstract fluid reasoning now looks less like a wall than a ramp. On Real Science, the institutional architecture of discovery is being recompiled. Lawrence Berkeley deployed Physical Superintelligence's Get Physics Done (GPD) framework to flawlessly replicate a 2023 condensed matter paper on emergent magnetic monopole lattices. A JAX-accelerated reproduction, LBNL, hailed as proof that AI agents can now execute hardcore physics end-to-end. Pure mathematics is generating its own cascades. Stanford's Jared Lichtman reports that GPT 5.4 Pro's proof of Erdos problem 1196 has now been adapted to crack a separate 60-year-old conjecture by Erdos, Sarkozy, and Semiretti, which he calls perhaps the first AI-generated proof to have downstream impact on further mathematics. The shadow side of high-precision compute is also surfacing. Sentinel Labs uncovered FAST16, a three-body problem-style sabotage framework dating to 2005 that patches scientific software in memory to falsify results, a harbinger for attacks on national priority physics workloads. The deployment surface is widening even as the threat surface deepens. The Pentagon signed classified network agreements with 7 AI labs other than Anthropic, spreading workloads across SpaceX, OpenAI, Google, NVIDIA, Reflection, Microsoft, and AWS. Audio production has joined the abundance curve. 39% of new podcasts in the past 9 days were likely AI-generated, as audio production scales past the studio bottleneck. Amazon is wiring the same wave into commerce, launching Join the Chat, where AI shopping experts deliver conversational audio Q&A on product pages. The hardware build-out is straining at every node. Apple's Tim Cook concedes that Mac Mini and Mac Studio supply will be constrained for months because customers are buying them as personal AI rigs faster than Cupertino predicted. Cerebras is targeting a $40 billion valuation in a $4 billion IPO, while OpenAI's CFO Sarah Fryer has privately suggested pushing the company's own IPO to 2027, warning that revenue may lag data center commitments. Geopolitics is now infrastructure. Amazon's Middle East cloud customers face months more disruption after Iranian drone strikes damaged 3 Amazon data centers in the UAE and Bahrain. Robots are being naturalized into civic and family life. California will begin ticketing driverless cars for moving violations, forcing AV operators to acknowledge police calls within 30 seconds. Waymo is cracking down on solo kids, whose time-strapped parents have been outsourcing carpools to robotaxis. Meta acquired Assured Robot Intelligence for Meta Superintelligence Labs, aiming to become the android of humanoid robotics. The Kardashev climb is leaving the whiteboard for the procurement office. Beyond the atmosphere, NASA tested a lithium vapor plasma thruster at a record 120 kilowatts, 25 times the power of the Psyche spacecraft's drives, on the road to the multi-megawatt thrust required for crewed Mars missions. Down in the troposphere, Rainmaker Technology Corporation validated 143 million gallons of cloud-seeded freshwater for Oregon and Utah, becoming the first company to prove the precipitation it sells. Macroeconomic narratives are sounding singular. The Washington Post argues AI may be killing jobs through capex pressure rather than labor savings, giving CEOs cover to consciously uncouple from their workforces. Boston University finds the opposite story for software, where U.S. developer headcount has added 400,000 since ChatGPT because software demand outpaced the 9.3% annual productivity gain. The Academy Awards drew a fresh line, declaring that acting and writing must be human-performed to qualify, while Sam Altman has fallen out of love with UBI, now favoring collective ownership of compute or equities. The founder of Hyperstition captured the mood, observing that CEO comp packages are now built around 100 terawatts of orbital compute, robotic biology factories, and million-person Mars colonies. Geopolitical friction is hardening around the AI stack. China reportedly pressured Zambia to cancel RightsCon, the world's largest digital human rights conference, at the last minute, while Moonshot AI and Deeproot.ai are reincorporating onshore after Beijing forced Meta to unwind its Manus acquisition. And Chinese courts ruled that companies cannot fire workers solely to replace them with AI, setting a labor rights precedent with global implications. All that is solid melts into compute. All that is biological retains counsel.